All right. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kimberly of One Eye Doll.
And I'm Junior.
Also of One Eye Doll.
All right.
He's in my band.
Where are you from?
We're from Austin, Texas.
And how long has One Eye Doll been One Eye Doll?
Well, 2007 is when the first One Eye Doll album came out.
And how long before that how old are the songs that are on there?
Well, I've been going since 2005 on another band called Ghetto Princess, which was basically just baby One Eye Doll. It's what grew up to be One Eye Doll. We played stuff like, See Jane Run and Committed and Suckerfish.
And when did you join the band?
Well, I saw them in 2006 as Ghetto Princess and at Emo's in Austin, Texas. And actually, I had seen their MySpace page. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember MySpace.
MySpace.
But yeah, checked them out, and we had just moved to Austin from California, and I moved my whole studio out there, and I was looking for the coolest band in Austin to record, and I just recorded 10 really terrible bands, and I was really depressed, and I was like, all right, I gotta find a really cool band, just do what it takes to record them, just so I can have something to show off from Austin, So I was scouring MySpace, came across Ghetto Princess, and was like, okay, this is cool. Turns out they were actually from Oregon, but whatever. They were in Austin at the time. They were just getting started in Austin, and I went over to the show at Emo's, and I brought her a CD of something else that I had made, and was like, come record with me. And that was in 2006. And the question was, when did I join the band? I actually joined full-time in 2009. So that was
drummer.
As the drummer, yeah.
And has it been just you two since then?
There was about 6 months where the previous drummer before me was playing bass in the band, and he ended up not being satisfied doing that.
I knew there was a third person at some point.
Yeah, and he quit shortly thereafter. So.
And then sometimes we've toured with our buddy John on bass.
Mr. Swimmy Socks.
Just because unofficial fun, just for fun kind of stuff, and sometimes we'll bring him on the road.
Yeah, and he's in the video game Adventure Quest Worlds along with us, and so the kids are always like, where in the universe, Mr. Sock? And because he doesn't actually play in the band, but he's in the video games. So.
Yeah, John's a star.
Nice. Where did you come up with the name One Eye Doll?
Well, I almost lost my eye tonight.
Well, yeah, tonight now we just
really named the band tonight. We are called One Eye Doll. Almost One Eye Doll.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a tribute to my adopted grandpa, who adopted my mom. He was a performer all his life and a slapstick comedian, and my big performance musical influence was him. His name's Bernie Jones, and he had one eye. And he gave me my first guitar and kind of gave me advice and influenced me to do what I'm doing now, the way I'm doing it now. I basically have big clown shoes to fill. And so it's a tribute to him, Bernie Jones. He's the One Eye Doll, not me.
And maybe you should
Hopefully not.
Explain why.
Yeah, I was
a black eye.
What happened to your eye?
Well, I was taking vengeance on Klaus from the Scorpions.
Klaus Meine, the singer of the Scorpions, he's actually also anatomically a scorpion, a real one.
He's a
with
scorpion,
stinger,
and he was at our show tonight, so I had to kill him.
Yeah, and his whole family.
But I was slaying him, and he stung me in the eye with my guitar.
Again.
While I was stabbing him with my guitar, he stung me with my guitar.
Yeah.
So now it's all swelled.
He answered my other question I was going to ask, which was, how did you get started in music?
Yeah, I guess that pretty much.
Got a twofer on that one.
Yeah.
Now, you're a totally independent band, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yep.
we do it all
DIY.
with the help of our fans and friends and.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we're not on a record label.
Right.
We have our own record label called Nebulost Records that we do everything with. We do have an agent that helps us book shows. That's really important. That's really cool. Lets us focus more on,
Thanks, Andrew.
doing all the other stuff that we have to do. And our crew is growing and growing. We now have 3 extra crew members on this tour. We have a roadie, typically, the guy that just picks stuff up from one place and puts it somewhere else.
He sleeps on that couch.
Yeah, he sleeps on that couch, and he puts together the drums. He's also doing some of the lights, like you might have seen tonight. We had all these super sweet lasers, and he's kind of controlling all that stuff and the fog machine and everything. And then we have a guy who mostly everybody kind of contributes, doing all kinds of stuff. But then we have a guy that does mainly driving, but he also helps load in. Tony, and we have a merch girl named Pez. She's selling merch in there. So
this is her bunk.
yeah. It used to be. It used to be that we kind of just, just be the 2 of us, literally, in a cargo van
For years.
for years, and we're kind of finding that it's just better to sometimes to delegate and let people help you. And when we're out here, it's like every night we have to sell shirts and CDs. It's like, just to keep gas in the tank, have to sell shirts and CDs. And we have a merch girl. Well, we sell twice as many shirts and CDs. So
Because I give everything away all the time and I get in trouble.
She just gives everything away, and it's like that doesn't work. So we finally now, even though we have like 3 more people on the payroll, it's easier to fill the gas tank even now that we have a crew. So
Yeah, they're so helpful. We have our friends.
there's one of them right there. There's Shoddy, our roadie, right
Hey.
there. And then our new video, which is going to be coming out soon, features all of our crew as well. It's pretty
Nice.
fun. We just shot a video the other day. It's super secret. I'm not going to tell you about it yet.
But these guys just heard the song is for but they're not gonna show you
Yeah.
till it's time.
But we might let them debut the song. Whoa.
Awesome.
That would be crazy.
So, are you actually able to survive doing this as an independent band?
Yeah, we've been.
We're dead. We're not allowed.
Oh,
We're
well, that
zombies.
helps.
Yeah, we don't need any sustenance or
Just
anything.
craving
Very well
brains.
preserved zombies.
Thank
And
you.
we just kinda-
we had a lot of work done.
We just astral project from show to show. So
Oh, nice. Well, that saves on gas.
But yeah, we've been doing this full time, 100%, like no day jobs for
many years.
many years now.
Nice.
Thanks to people like you helping get the word out about us, and our fans for always supporting us and downloading our songs and buying all our merch and coming to shows.
What do you think you've done right, and what do you think you've done wrong in all of this?
Right. I found him.
Okay.
He found me, I guess. That was the rightest thing I ever did.
I can say, I mean, if to condense that down to some advice, just
Okay.
for
For
bands that are
trying to
looking
be independent.
basically make music their career. It's a really difficult thing to do. It's there's no easy way out. You really can't have anything else that you're attached to. I think that's the number one thing that, bands come into my studio all the time, they're recording, they'll ask me a question like that. How do you guys, earn a living doing this full time? And the sad truth is that you can't have a job, you can't have a dog or a girlfriend or any bills because you're not going to be able to take care of those things on the road, and it's
Unless you already have money, like you have a
Yeah, I mean, if you're-
trust fund or something,
Right.
then you can buy your way through it just fine. And a lot of people do.
right.
You'd be surprised.
So many people, the concept, and I hear it from every single band that comes into the studio. There's 5 guys. They all have some job, construction job or an office job or something like that. They're all making some cush, $30,000, $40,000 a year, which lets them buy the entire stock of Guitar Center. And they have this like huge rig of expensive equipment. None of that stuff is going to fly on the road. You can't take any of that stuff from show to show. You just have to get a small, light, cheap equipment that you can replace when it breaks, because it's going to break all the time. and base your music around something simple that is entertaining to watch, and go out there on the road and sell shirts and CDs. That's the only way you're going to make it. There's no other magic bullet that involves you having a job. So, and buying $50,000 worth of gear. It just doesn't translate to a touring musician life.
I basically, when I started out, I was living in my van, and I would do just anything that I could do to be able to book and play a show. I was playing as many shows as I could, and if that meant quitting a job to play a show, I did it. And I would find other ways of making money for food, and whether
So
it was
dedication is a part of it, obviously.
yeah, I'd clean people's houses. I started making jewelry and putting it into shops. Just anything I could do to keep me from being obligated to be somewhere at a certain time instead of being at a show. Because we all have to feed ourselves, and we all have to, maybe live somewhere. Maybe not everybody can live in their van, but I never had a problem with it. But it's just kind of, you need to be independent and not super attached to a lot of things. And I was very loner, I guess, when I started. So
If a label approached you, do you think you would take a deal with someone?
Labels approach us all the time. All the deals that we've been offered have been really terrible. Basically, the concept that's out there right now is that the label wants to take all of the money that you generate with any aspect of your life and dole it back to you in these little tiny, day-to-day, daily checks that'll keep you alive. And it's just not, we haven't been presented with a deal that makes sense to us. But, if we did...
I would be really happy to get some help and to work with someone who believes in what we're doing and wants to support us and can do more for our band than we're able to do on our own.
Yeah,
but that's what it's going to have to do.
Yeah, there's like a list of stuff that we've
Otherwise,
got,
we're doing pretty awesome right now. So.
For example, one of the things that was on my list of what it would take for us to get signed to a label, to be drawn into a contract with the label, is that I wanted to record with a really big time producer. I was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, I need the budget to record at a world class studio with one of my hero producers. If somebody was able to do that, then I would be like, cool, we'll give up all of the other things, and we can have one-eyed doll McDonald's cups or something, whatever the stupid things they want you to do if you're on a record label. And so out of the blue, we get this email from the legendary Sylvia Massey, who is, she made all of the early Tool albums. She made the last Johnny Cash album. She's made albums with Prince. She made the first System of a Down album. I mean, she's totally legendary. And she just emails us, Kimberly gets this email, oh, some stupid producer.
I did not say stupid.
No, she...
Somebody was going to see this and think I called her stupid.
No. She was just like, somebody's trying to record, because she was just, saying that basically I record all of this stuff. So she's like, no, we're not going to go with any other producer.
Producers would email me all the time. Like at this particular time, for some reason, producers were always emailing me, hitting me up to come to their studios, and I don't know names, I don't know anything. So, but this one was a girl. So I'm like, oh, hey Jason, look, it's a girl producer, yay! Don't worry though, you're my guy, I'm not gonna work with anybody else.
So she forwards me the email, and my jaw hits the floor. I'm like, do you know who this is? This is one of my heroes, absolute heroes, It's like Undertow by Tool is one of the best albums of all time, so. And so yeah, we hooked it up, and a few months later we were basically living at her studio. We lived there for like a year, so it was super awesome.
Yeah, she just sort of took us in, and next thing you knew, I was singing on other people's albums, and he's producing jobs, and we're studio rats at this point.
Just little engineering stuff around.
It was really fun. It was a really, really good time.
Yeah,
we made so much music.
We did the whole Dirty album there. We did there's a whole other full-length album that is yet to be released.
And then a whole bunch of other stuff on top of that.
Yeah.
clean stuff.
Yeah, we did a lot of recording there, so.
So you didn't need the label to get that.
Right, that's the thing, is that, one way or the other, we were able to, that's just serendipitous, I guess.
Well, it's word of mouth, Like, I've been touring so hard for so long.
Well, not only
Eventually, somebody heard, I guess. And
not only
I was
do
lucky.
do you tour a lot, but you also interact with your fans really well.
Thanks.
And that seems to be something that not every band is even able to do. I mean, you have that charisma on stage to begin with, and then people remember you because you're so friendly, because you took the time to talk to them and stuff. And I don't know if bands really get that concept that they need their fans to really support them, and you seem to have that groundswell of support of your fans.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do is to do meet and greets every night, and we have special VIP parties for some of our really biggest supporters, and it's a lot of fun. Some of our best experiences on tour is just hanging out with fans, and I think that there might be a lot of reasons for people not wanting to do that, and that's totally okay too. I think it definitely puts you in a vulnerable spot, because you can definitely, a lot of people will be really cool, and then you just get that one crazy person.
How do you deal with that?
It's case by case, I guess. I never really know how to.
Has anything like overly bad ever happened?
Yeah, I got roofied
Oh,
at a show, at one of my own shows,
beautiful.
with a water bottle with a lid on it.
Really?
Somebody got me at the merch table. I had set it down to do autographs, just right next to me. Somebody managed to open it and put something in it and close the lid.
Oh.
Or they switched them.
Yeah.
But it was pretty.
Scary?
Yeah, it was a big deal, and I had to be really careful after that, and it made me a little more careful around people, because you're just meeting a lot of strangers, and you're
You're a small girl.
yeah. So it's kind of cool. I feel a lot more secure now because he's around, and he's just this big, scary-looking guy, and I know that
We have a Marine for a
We have a
roadie.
Marine, and I have these guys, and I know Pez could throw down if she needed to. And I've run into trouble. You probably have heard the Dallas story that Roses is about.
I don't think so.
Oh, some skinheads that were messing with me, and I had to.
Kill them.
Well, I ended up with assault charges that night. I knocked one of them out pretty good, though.
Maybe I did hear that story.
With a vase of roses.
But that's what the song Roses is
They didn't
about.
show up in a van at Chili or anything, did they? No, I'm sorry.
But yeah, you are constantly a target, and that's a little scary to think about. And trusting perfect strangers can be really hard. And I'm crazy enough to do it, but not everybody is, and I totally understand that. And I would never judge a musician for not coming out and meeting the fans. Just because I've had those experiences, and I take more risks than a lot of people do.
And it's
And that's not their
It's
fault.
also, we have our whole life publicly scheduled, so it's like everybody knows where we're going to be at all times.
Yeah, there have been times where I've gotten threats, and it's really scary going from show to show, knowing that they know where I'm going to be, and we have to, tell the police and tell security, and,
Wow.
and then the clubs are weirded out about having us there. And it's just like, it gets really complicated. And things happen all the time. And we just deal with it case by case and do our best.
Well,
And I try not to be alone at any time. And
What is the best experience you think you've had doing this?
oh my gosh.
You can throw one of them out there.
Hey, good.
You think about yours. I had a fan from up northwest that mailed me live lobsters. That was pretty.
That's awesome.
He sent them in the mail. I opened this box and it's like, what? There's a living live lobsters.
Wow.
We have some pretty darn generous fans. Well, something that happened kind of recently was a fan flew us to New Zealand to play his birthday party.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'd never
it was-
been to New Zealand, so that was...
We
That's
literally
really
played
cool.
in like their little goat pen, and like there was these
We had sheep hats.
and there's like 15, 20 kind of middle age, like not teenagers or anything,
Right.
and they're just didn't
They
know
all
what
did.
to do,
It was a surprise. Like, he wanted to surprise all his friends by having his favorite band play, and they're all like, what is
They liked it. I mean, it was fun, but it was just this little tiny backyard.
They were all just so
party.
shocked at first.
Yeah.
We opened this.
Oh, and he had a full lighting rig.
We filled this goat shed with fog smoke and had like lasers in there. And we opened, and there's like an automatic door. And we waited till it was dark, and they're all outside, and they've got like, the pig in the ground. They're cooking and all this like campfire stuff. It
They're
was
doing this
really
traditional
super traditional
New Zealand barbecue thing.
So the garage door slowly opens, and all this smoke and like red light starts pouring out, and we're like, now, 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 now. And they're like, is that the American national anthem? And you hear people, and we just like, yeah, bust out, and they're just like, we thought we were at a barbecue, but it ended up being the funnest night, and we just made friends with all of these people who were
Yeah.
there and had so much fun with
And we,
them.
played-
Stayed up all night.
And we sang songs after our set was done. We just stayed up the rest of the night just playing songs, on
I had
guitar,
just grass stains
singing with
all
everybody
over. Yeah,
Just having a good old time.
It was really fun, and we got to see the New Zealand countryside. And it was out where Lord of the Rings was shot.
Nice.
And
Yeah, and we climbed up this mountain right by the ocean. And it had this really awesome view. Oh, and speaking of that, more lobster stories. They took us out into the ocean on their boat and went lobster fishing. They would dive for lobsters.
they like put on snorkel suits and down into the water. This is just like what normal everyday New Zealand people do to catch their food.
Yeah.
And it was just, they treated us like royalty.
That's fantastic.
And yeah, that was a great experience.
I got a question that might be harder than that one. What's the strangest thing that's ever happened to you playing out? That you didn't do?
Well, we had this really weird interview with the last exit for the lost.
Yeah,
We had
these
these
guys kept
people in our
asking us
tour
these
bus.
weird questions.
I know.
Our biggest fans, but somehow cannot figure out how to get to a show and stuff.
That's love.
If you want a really weird interview, you should come to the station sometime.
What is,
That would be a party right there.
well, the roofies thing was weird because they was actually, they had put that, like, MDMA.
Oh,
And it was like this cocktail mixture, and I was
like ecstasy type of
well,
similar.
it was I was seeing stuff. Like,
Oh, so you were
I was in a
hallucinating and-
cartoon
Ooh, boy.
world.
Wow.
So that was really weird because I don't do drugs. I thought somebody maybe had slipped me acid at first, but then it like paralyzed me and all this.
Ugh.
Like I was having like seizure things, and that was really probably strangest feeling I had on tour. But we had some weird ones like. Well, I don't know. Some probably shouldn't talk about so much, but not incriminating anyone.
One of my favorite shows, which was a little strange, was in New Orleans. First time that Kimberly had played in New Orleans since writing the song New Orleans. And then and we played. It was like a 4-hour show. The way that this particular, it was like it's kind of a bar.
They just
place.
want us to play all night.
Yeah,
basically.
they said you can have a percentage of the bar for however long you play. So we're like, all right, well, we'll just play all night, you know. So we played for 4 hours, and at the end of the night, like it was going to be the second to last song, something like that. All the power and the whole block shut down, and you know, typically when that kind of thing happens, everybody just leaves, but not at a One-Eyed Doll show. Everybody turned on their lighters and their phones, and Kimberly got up on the table and sang the song New Orleans a cappella.
Wow.
And it was really, really cool. And actually, she sang a few songs a cappella with the power out completely. And it was pretty amazing. So, and everybody stuck around, and everybody just kind of lit her up, and she went and stood up on the bar and sang the songs.
That's awesome.
There was another time where this was even before that, kind of in the earlier days of touring, where basically I was calling places and asking them if we could play all around the country, and we just do that, and it was played, you know. And there was this one place in Harlem that I believe was a misbooking, because we got there and they were like, "What are you doing here?" It was at the Black United Fun Club in Harlem. And it's like you go into this place and like it's really quite amazing, but it's completely like wallpapered in tributes and photos of African American great people, you know, in music and politics and everything else. And it's just this like really beautiful, proud place. And we walk in, and I'm like in my giant tutu, and and it's like it's kind of set up more for like a reggae vibe, or you know, something chill. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and like the promoter's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, well, we're booked to play, so I guess we're gonna play. And he's like, okay, and so we play. And I'm just like, well, you know, I hope I'm not disrespecting this place, but we're gonna go full out. And we did, and we went full out. And you know what? By like a couple songs in, everybody got really into it.
Awesome.
And like had so much fun. And then by the end of the night, you know, we're friends with all of these people, and they put our poster up with all of the legends that were
That's
in
really
that place.
awesome.
And I was so touched. I cried. But it was a really neat experience. And it was like we were in the wrong place at the right time, and just had this, you know, the
That's
music
really
kind of
awesome.
brought us all together, and it was really neat.
All right, so in all of this, any regrets?
Probably.
I regret, you know, not hunting down Kimberly years before. And
Yeah, we should have met way longer ago. We would have saved a lot.
yeah, we were both wasting our time up
and-
until about 2006 or so.
Yeah, you know, dragging people along, and you know, who weren't into it or whatever in the end.
Yeah.
And people can find your stuff where?
OneEyeDoll.com, and specifically music.oneeyedoll.com. If you want to download the music, it's name your own price. So you can put in 0 if you want. Just click buy, put in whatever price you want.
And how does that work for you? Do people generally purchase it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of people that don't, but that's totally fine. We just want them to have it. And some people some people donate $500 for an album.
Wow.
It really
Wow.
balances out well for us, and we end up making, the last time he did the numbers, with all of the zeros, added in, averaged, we're making more like $3 a song.
Wow.
Whereas from iTunes, you know, the fan pays 99 cents, and then we get whatever cut of that.
Yeah.
So
You
it
get like
works,
70 cents a song. For
It works out really great for us, and I would recommend it to other bands. If you want to just go ahead and trust your fans, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, you see a lot of the Kickstarter things going on, but we have this kind of constant support from our fans. And then when we're in a bind, they come together for us too. Like our trailer fire the other day.
That doesn't sound good.
But yeah.
There's one fan of ours named Jason Coombs seems to know whenever we need a little help, and
I think he's got us tapped. He knows.
yeah, he'll send us a little
It's
something
just
in.
like we
Nice.
have some patrons, some serious patrons who really. I can't even understand why or how. We're so lucky.
Yeah, well, just the other day, actually, right after our first show on this tour in Lynchburg, Virginia, our trailer caught on fire.
That sucks.
I think what happened is probably got a flat tire, and we just got this thing, and I'm not used to driving it around, but the flat tire and the trailer and the back of it, you can't even tell that anything happened. So it was probably dragging it on the ground, and then
Causing sparks.
Yeah, and the tire itself caught on fire,
Oh.
and
We went through our whole fire extinguisher and like all this water we could get, and
Yeah.
it's still reigniting until the fire
fire ex-
department, the giant fire engine came and
yeah.
closed it all out.
Yeah, and it was first night of tour, so we had all our merch in there, everything, and I was like, just please don't spray water all over the merch. We'll get it out.
Yeah, these guys are like pulling boxes and gear out while it's basically still on fire.
Yeah,
Oh, but we saved all our stuff. And our,
the point is that we needed a new trailer like that, and we put it out on Facebook, and our
just
fans donated thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And we got
If anybody wants to go download an album at our music site right now would be a great time. If there's
gotta-
that music you've been meaning to get,
yeah, got a super cool new trailer.
or if you have a new trailer for us.
And it's got dual axles, so it can hold all our stuff without getting a flat tire. And
So it's an upgrade, and
yeah.
we got,
it has
Awesome.
brakes and everything, so you can when you hit the brakes in here, the brakes happen in there.
so yeah, probably need it in the first place.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been out with the trailer we had wasn't really made for what we were.
We're always learning. We kind of
Yeah.
just learn as we go.
And merchandise-wise, you have what available for people other than the albums? And you have both One Night Doll albums and your solo project,
Yeah.
which is just under Kimberly Freeman, but
Got
it's
some
still
different
the
stuff.
two of you.
Yeah. Basically, we have our One Eye Doll albums, and then when there's some other kind of music that we feel like making, we call it Kimberly Freeman, just because it's not like something that we play at a One Eye Doll show.
Right.
So that kind of just separates it. But it's really just the two of us still. And in fact, with his solo albums, he plays more of the instrumentation than I do most of the time. And they focus on singing more, and so it's actually more him. On
Is
this.
the songwriting the both of you, or do you come up with the songs and you add in, or what?
I mean, it varies.
She
It's
usually
different.
she usually writes all the music for One Eye Doll, and then for the solo stuff, it'll be like either she'll write it's one of her songs that is completely finished, or sometimes I'll have like an instrumental song, and then she'll write words for it, like on Into Outer Space, like the
That's
song.
mostly what that was.
Like it's like half and half, but
Yeah, a lot of that was just his
the
cool
song,
instrumentals, and I'm like, I want to write over that, and then we're like,
yeah, like Fairy, the song Fairy on Into Outer Space, that was the song that I had written instrumentally, and then she wrote lyrics over top of that. And then a song like Live or Die, she had already written that completely, and then I just kind of made a beat around it,
Nice.
So it varies. There's not really a process. We just sort of, whatever the inspiration is, we just kind of go with that, and we're not really rigid about it. And
Okay, you also got, obviously, T-shirts, and what else
Oh,
can people
man.
get from you?
we got
T-shirts, hoodies.
doodads, jewelry.
Yeah,
My mom
doll heads.
makes keychains and jewelry that's on our table, and
hoodies, shirts, posters, CDs, buttons,
we got
necklaces.
my guitar,
Yeah, she's got a special guitar.
my
Nice.
signature guitar. You can buy on our website right now. You can get 3 different versions of my guitar now available by Trigon, including one that we recently decided to do that is literally my guitar that I've been playing on tour. You can reserve that, and when I have a replacement and I'm ready to let it go, I will sign it and send it to that person as it is. And it's kind of
Awesome.
fun.
So
And
her actual guitar she's
like
been playing
retiring
on
it, you know? And then Tony from Tragan will send me one to replace that one, and then I'll play that on tour until, you know, until somebody wants to get it, and then I feel like I've put enough love into it, I'll send it to that fan, and the circle continues.
Awesome.
It's kind of fun. It's neat because it kind of keeps me with a fresh guitar. You know, because I'm pretty hard on them. It keeps me from completely destroying them.
I've seen you be hard on the drums too.
Thanks, Crush, for a great acrylic, hardcore, awesome, tough kit.
Yeah.
It can withstand the force of a 90-pound girl.
And you got a couple of music videos already, and you're working on a new one.
We have several. We did our two main videos that we did with Patrick Kendall are You're a Vampire and Committed, and then he is just got done shooting a third one, which is not announced yet, and I'm not going to talk about it yet, but it's going to be really, really awesome.
There's another one you did before that too, right?
We've done several.
We've done
just-
some
okay.
DIY ones.
Yeah, the nudie bar video Kimberly made on the toilet seat.
That was my first video.
Yeah, and then I made one for the song "NB" that was that I like a lot. That one's
Pow.
pretty cool. There's one for Pal.
David
Yeah,
Jr. did that one in
then-
my bathtub.
and there's tons of fan videos and hundreds of videos on YouTube just of
Airplane Man.
random weird stuff. Oh, the Airplane Man video. That one's really cool.
That's just one long selfie.
Mm-hmm.
Did it with my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anything else people should know about the band?
We're awesome.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Come see us live. We're always touring.
Yeah, we have like 40 more dates on this tour or
Yeah.
something, so we're playing all around. And
Check our website for tour dates. We'll probably be in your town soon or someplace close.